Fernando Tatis Jr. went from being the most electrifying player in baseball to rock bottom in the blink of an eye. He had it all: the talent, the charisma, the highlight reel plays. He was a walking superstar, but then came the injuries, the PED suspension, and the fallout that nearly destroyed his career. One minute, he was the face of the Padres. The next, he was the league's biggest cautionary tale. His own teammates were calling him out. The media turned on him, and just like that, the player who was supposed to be baseball's next icon became its biggest disappointment.
I've seen how my dreams have turned into my worst nightmares.
But Tatis Jr. doesn't stay down for long. Against all odds, he clawed his way back to the top.
It was very painful, but I embrace it. I feel like that's part of the game. Stuff like that's going to happen, but the important thing is how you're going to bounce back.
A defensive transformation, a gold glove, and a determination to silence every last doubter. This is the story of how Fernando Tatis Jr. rose, fell, and is now fighting his way back to the top. One swing, one catch, and one redemption moment at a time. Tatis Jr. was born to be a ball player, literally. He came into the world on January 2, 1999 in San Pedro de Macorís, a Dominican Republic town known for producing MLB talent.
Born and raised in San Pedro de Macorís, is a very known town for a lot of baseball players coming out of there. And what can I say? Over there we live baseball, we breathe baseball.
His father, Fernando Tatis Sr., was an MLB infielder best known for pulling off one of the most absurd feats in baseball history: hitting 2 grand slams in a single inning. Most players don't even hit 2 grand slams in a season. With a dad like that, baseball wasn't just a hobby, it was in his DNA.
Seeing my dad play, seeing my uncles and my friends, that was my dream since I was a kid.
Did you ever have a first job as a kid?
My dad was rich when I was a kid, but he did put me to work out there.
From an early age, Tatis Jr. was constantly around the game, hanging out with major leaguers, taking swings with Robinson Cano, and soaking up everything he could. He had the raw talent, but more importantly, he had the work ethic. Despite his pedigree, he wasn't just a top-tier international prospect when he signed with the Chicago White Sox as a 16-year-old in 2015. In fact, some scouts weren't even sure if he'd make it. He was lanky, unpolished, and far from a sure thing. But if there's one thing we've learned about Fernando Tatis Jr., it's that batting against him is never a good idea.
You get signed over there, you go play baseball Dominican League, make it happen from the island. This is a very long process, but if you play really good, you can make it short like I did.
Tatis Jr.'s time with the White Sox didn't last long, not because he failed, but because they didn't realize what they had. In 2016, before he even played a professional game, Chicago sent him to the San Diego Padres in what would go down as one of the most lopsided trades in history. In exchange, James Shields, a veteran pitcher on the decline.
It was almost midnight when my dad gave me the news like, hey, we're settled, you're going into pros, we have a done deal. You can feel that transition.
Once in the Padres system, Tatis wasted no time proving himself. He climbed the minor league ranks, flashing an electric combination of power, speed, and defense.
Now I'm the one stepping forward and, coming to another country just to make a dream come true so I can help my people.
By 2018, he was one of the most hyped prospects in baseball. It wasn't a matter of if he would reach the majors, it was when. That when came on March 28, 2019. At just 20 years old, Tatis made his MLB debut, and from day one, he played like a star. His first game? 2 hits against the San Francisco Giants. His first month? A highlight reel of ridiculous defensive plays and jaw-dropping home runs. Mark Grunt once said about him, "He brings athleticism. He brings excitement in right field. Fernando has great power to the opposite field. Pull side, you hang a breaking ball, and he's going to crush it." And the world saw it happen through his performance. But just when it looked like his rookie year would be the stuff of legend, disaster struck. A back injury ended his season after only 84 games. Still, his numbers were absurd. Hitting a .317 batting average, 22 home runs, 53 RBIs, and 16 stolen bases. Even in limited action, he proved he was the real deal.
It was kind of crazy because, like you said, I got a little bit of everything. I got to taste a little bit of everything, but it was fun. You know, it was a great learning experience. See it that way, and just a pretty good year to come this year now.
In 2020, the baseball world saw what a fully unleashed Fernando Tatis Jr. could do. During the COVID-shortened season, he turned into a superstar, launching 17 home runs in just 59 games and leading the Padres to their first playoff appearance in 14 years. And then came the moment. August 17, 2020. Bases loaded. 3-0 count. Most players take that pitch. Not Tatis. He swung, crushed a grand slam, and sent baseball's unwritten rules into a frenzy. Some old school types were outraged. Everyone else? They loved it. By 2021, the Padres made it clear. This was their guy. In February, they handed Tatis a 14-year, $340 million contract, one of the biggest deals in MLB history, and he didn't disappoint. He led the National League with 42 home runs, won a Silver Slugger, and was an all-star. At just 22, he had officially arrived.
Fernando, congratulations. How does it feel to be the starting shortstop for the National League All-Star team?
Feels great, man. Feels great. It's a dream come true. Something that you dream about.
Then came 2022, the year where everything fell apart.
Someone needs to talk to Fernando Tatis.
Yo, what is he doing, man?
Fernando Tatis just got surgery on his wrist. He hurt it in a motorcycle accident. They asked him, hey, did you do that in the motorcycle accident? He said, which one?
At the time, the Padres were counting on Tatis. He was supposed to make his long-awaited return after missing months due to a wrist injury from, get this, a motorcycle accident. Yeah, not exactly the safest off-season activity.
If you are the face of your franchise and you are a shortstop, you can't ride a motorcycle when you're getting paid $300 million.
But just when fans thought he was about to rejoin the squad and help with a playoff push, boom, the MLB dropped the hammer. Tatis tested positive for clostebol, a banned performance-enhancing substance.
On Friday, one of the brightest young stars in baseball, San Diego Padres shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr., was busted by Major League Baseball for use of an anabolic steroid, and the 23-year-old has been suspended 80 games.
And what was his excuse? Ringworm medication? Yeah, not exactly the airtight defense you'd hope for. Tatis released a statement saying, "It turns out that I inadvertently took a medication to treat ringworm that contained clostebol. I should have used the resources available to me to ensure no banned substances were in what I took. I failed to do so." Translation: oops, my bad. This insensitive reaction made it seem like Tatis thought he was above showing accountability.
Worth it? But what about his reputation? Fernando Tatis could not care less what Joe Musgrove thinks, what Mike Clevenger thinks. He doesn't care what AJ Preller thinks. The reason why players don't care what anyone else says is they've got the money.
The Padres weren't thrilled. Their official statement said they were surprised and extremely disappointed by the news. They released a statement saying, "We were surprised and extremely disappointed to learn today that Fernando Tatis Jr. tested positive for a performance-enhancing substance in violation of Major League Baseball's Joint Prevention and Treatment Program and subsequently received an 80-game suspension without pay. We fully support the program and are hopeful that Fernando will learn from this experience." And his own teammates? They weren't rushing to defend him either. Mike Clevenger kept it real, saying, "This is the second time we've been disappointed with him. You hope he grows up and learns from this." Ouch. Even Manny Machado called it devastating, and honestly, it was. The Padres were in the middle of a playoff race, and losing a superstar like Tatis for the rest of the season and the first 33 games of 2023, that was brutal. To make things worse, this wasn't even his first controversy. Between the motorcycle accident, the delayed recovery, and now this, fans and sports enthusiasts were starting to question if Tatis was really that guy or just another wasted talent.
So when I saw that Tatis was suspended for 80 games, I had two immediate thoughts. The first thought was, it makes perfect sense.
And let's be real, An 80-game suspension isn't something you just bounce back from. Tatis forfeited $3.2 million in salary, lost a ton of credibility, and had to watch from the sidelines as his team made a playoff run without him. At the end of the day, this wasn't just about missing games, it was about trust. When a player like Tatis, who signed a 14-year, $340 million contract, is caught using PEDs, it raises a lot of questions.
Teams invested a lot in him, but can they trust Tatis right now?
Well, right now, I don't think they feel that they can. I mean, AJ Preller, the general manager, has been quoted on this, and he basically said we need to work on that trust issue.
Was his breakout success legit? Was this just bad judgment or something deeper? The fallout was brutal. Fans turned on him. Teammates were frustrated. His reputation took a massive hit. He was left with no other option than to own it.
The distraction that I have been is just something unacceptable. Something that has no excuse. And something that it needs to be redeemed.
I want to apologize to Peter Seidler, AJ Preller, the entire Padres organization, my teammates, Major League Baseball, and fans everywhere for my mistake. His statement read, "I have no excuses for my error, and I would never do anything to cheat or disrespect this game I love." After a full year away from the game, Tatis had a choice. Let the criticism define him or come back stronger. He chose the latter.
The return of Fernando Tatis Jr. to San Diego.
Returning in 2023, he not only had to prove he could still play at an elite level, but also had to switch positions. With the Padres signing Xander Bogaerts, shortstop was no longer an option, so Tatis moved to right field, a position he had never played before. The result? He turned into one of the best outfielders in the league. He led all National League defenders with 27 defensive runs, saved, and won a Gold Glove award. Oh, and he still mashed at the plate, hitting 25 home runs with 78 RBIs. The 2024 season started strong for Tatis, but mid-year another setback hit. This time, ephemeral stress reaction in his right quadricep.
Right now he's feeling, better, and from obviously he was in, quite a bit of pain, coming out of the game. So I don't have a lot of information except the fact that they're going to do more tests and evaluations tomorrow.
It sidelined him for weeks, but if history tells us anything, it's that Tatis always finds a way back. He returned in September and wasted no time making an impact. He finished the season hitting .276 with 21 home runs and 49 RBIs in just 102 games. And when the playoffs arrived, El Nino turned it up. Against the Dodgers in the NLDS, he crushed 2 home runs in a single game, proving once again why he's one of baseball's most dangerous players.
Tatis hits it hard on the ground, up the middle into left center field. That's a base hit. And Fernando standing at second with a hard hit.
Fernando Tatis Jr.'s journey has been anything but predictable. One moment, he's the face of baseball, the human highlight reel electrifying the game. The next, he's sidelined, criticized, and fighting to prove he still belongs. Injuries? He's had them. Controversy? More than his fair share. Suspension? Yeah, that too. But here's the thing. Tatis isn't the type to fade into the background. Love him or hate him, the dude refuses to stay down. And at just 26 years old, his story is far from over.
There's gonna be a lot of people around you, doesn't mean that they want the best for you. So just keep working hard so we can keep bringing in more.
So what's next? Is he on his way to redemption? Or does he still have to earn back the trust of fans, teammates, and the entire baseball world? Can he reclaim his spot as one of the game's biggest stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear where you stand on this. And if you like this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more baseball stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.